the Hausa. Now, Hausa land is divided into 7 very important states. And if you are interested, students, I'm going to mention them one after the other so that you can write them down. In fact, Zazzau was the biggest of all the states, followed by Daura, D-A-U-R-A, Kano, Gobir, Katsina, Rano, and Garungabas. 7 states of the Hausa. Oh my God. Now I'm going to be telling you why the Hausa dominate. In fact, the politics of Nigeria, it didn't start today. It started all the way beyond the days of our heroine for today, who was born in 1533. Today we're talking about Amina. Some people will call her Aminatu of Zazzau. Now Aminatu of Zazzau, or Amina of Zazzau, was born in 1533 in the 15th century. And my brother, my sister, she was born to a father who was called Turunku, Bakwa Turunku. Bakwa Turunku. Bakwa is spelled B-A-K-W-A. Turunku is T-U-R-U-N-K-U. Bakwa Turunku. Bakwa Turunku. In fact, Bakwa Turunku was the mother. The name of the mother was Bakwa Turunku, and the mother was called, in fact, the father was called King King Nikatau. King Nikatau. And Nikatau is spelled N-I-K-A-T-A-U. Now our heroine for today, Amina, was born in Zazzau in 1533. Her mother was called Queen Bakwa Turunku, and the father was called King Nikatau. Time now to get deeper into the story. Now, Amina was loved by her grandfather so much and decided to take her around the whole area of Zazzau, teaching her so many different things, teaching her politics at a very early age. In fact, taught her so many different things. In fact, and even taught her guerrilla fighting. By the time she was 16, almost every male in the area was interested in her. She was so pretty. They wanted her. But it was in the days when slavery was rife. For her bride price, my brother, my sister, she demanded 10 slaves. In fact, at the age of 16, Amina was already named Magajia, or heir to the throne. In other words, when the king was not there, she would be the one to take over the throne. And she was so pretty that she demanded 40 female slaves. In Hausa, we call that Kuyanga. 40 female Kuyanga and 10 male slaves to be able to have a hand in marriage. That was not all. You also needed to provide several animals and also be able to provide 50 bags of white and blue clothing from Sarkin Kano. My brother, my sister, now the clothes that you were going to provide should not just come from any source and should not just be of any color. It must be of blue and white color, and it must come from Sarkin Kano, the king of Kano, who produced the best clothing in the whole of Nigeria. Today we're talking about Queen Amina. At the age of 16, several men were already interested in her. And to have a hand in marriage, you needed to provide 10 male slaves and 40 female slaves, plus more animals, that's livestock. And at the same time, you should be able to provide white and blue clothing, 50 bags from Sarkin Kano. In fact, at a very early age, her father and mother died. Her father and mother died, and then she was left alone in this very terrible world. But interestingly, She had been taught a lot of military tactics by her own grandfather. And what happened? She knew guerrilla fighting, and she knew how she was able to protect herself. And her brother took over the kingship of Zazzau. Her brother took over and became the king of Zazzau and ruled the people quite well, bringing about peace and so on and so forth. But interestingly, Amina, after the death of the brother, rose to the throne of Zazzau. And when she rose to the throne, what did she do? Remember, she was female, and it was a world that was dominated by men. They despised her, but she took over the throne. And when she took over the throne, the first thing she did was to bring about the formation of a strong army or military of 20,000 foot soldiers and 100 cavalry men. That's men who rode on horses. She herself rode several horses, and she loved to fight on horseback. My brother, my sister, she herself trained the army of Zazzau, 20,000 foot soldiers and 100 cavalry men who rode the horses. She was their commander, and she was the best horse rider and at the same time best swordsman. She knew how to fight with the sword, how to fight with a spear, and how to even play antics on the back of a horse. She knew how to hide under the belly of the horse while the horse was in full flare. Oh my God, running in full range. She was feared all the way down in Zazzau. And when she rose to the throne, Amina, the daughter of Nikatao, oh my God, she decided to wage war on the neighboring Hausa states. She was a woman, and look at what happened. Only 2.5 months after she ascended the throne, she already started the formation of a very powerful military. And see what happened. She decided to get all her soldiers ready. By the 3rd month, the army was ready, and she announced for the very first time that all soldiers must have their spears sharpened and get ready for war. And this was a war that lasted 34 years. She expanded the territory of Zazzau with her 20,000 foot soldiers and 100 cavalry men, which she expanded all the way to 1,000. It started with 100, and then it went all the way to 1,000 cavalry troops. So on horseback, they fought, and she knew the politics of the area. Oh my God. She was able to subdue men. In fact, warriors who were known in Hausa land to be very, very terrible, and whose name sent chills down the spines of so many other warriors in Hausa land, were all scared of this woman. Many people believed that she had juju. In fact, they will see a horse coming without seeing anybody riding the horse. Before you realize, she emerged from the belly of the horse and started to attack and kill. It was said that no spear ever penetrated her skin. She had swallowed the medicine that prevented steel and iron from penetrating the human skin. See what happened now? She conquered large tracts of land as far as Kwara Rafa and Nupe. She went all the way to Nupe and conquered everybody. Most of the conquests were 100% done within a day or two. And look at the interesting thing. Amina of Zazzau never got married, but she was extremely romantic. She loved sex. You need to hear it again. Amina of Zazzau never ever got married because she did not want to be subdued under any man. She saw herself as a man, and at the same time, in those days, it was the man that controlled the marriage. It was a man who married a woman, A woman would not marry a man. The man was the one who provided the dowry. The man was the one who divorced the woman. The man was the one who went out there to bring the food, whilst the woman stayed at home to cook and to take care of the children. She saw herself as too busy to do that. So in her reign as Queen of Zazzau, in fact, King of Zazzau, she decided to turn the things upside down. A woman could marry a man, and a woman could have as many men as she wanted. Oh God. So women had the opportunity to choose what men they wanted and to divorce men if they wanted. And at the same time, they could also have more than one husband. Interesting. But a lot of the women saw that as anti-traditional, so they did not do it. But Amina did it. Everywhere she went on conquest, she looked amongst the people she had conquered, and she found the most handsome man, most energetic. Now she would take the man into the bedroom at night. In fact, sleep with the man, and before early morning, she would decapitate the man. In other words, slaughter the man, behead the man. Every man she slept with, she killed this man. Amina of Zazzau. She never got married. She never had a child. Everywhere she went, she had a new sex partner. Every ethnic group she conquered, she found a man. And the man did not last beyond the night. And she did it because she did not want the man to go out and tell her secrets. How she was in the bedroom, how she looked when she was naked, what she had around her waist, what she did not have. Once she slept with you, she would behead you before early morning at dawn. She conquered so many lands, including Katsina. She conquered so many of the Hausa kingdoms and added them to her own kingdom. In fact, during her reign, she encouraged agriculture. Oh gosh, apart from agriculture, she built walls, very powerful walls, to surround the whole of Zazzau, to protect her and her people from attacks from outside. Oh my God. She also encouraged education, encouraged people to go out there and study. She herself was a woman who could go underground to study, including doing almost everything to gain knowledge. Until 1904, when the British conquered Zazzau, long after her death, the walls were still standing there. Very powerful, stronger than even the walls of Chi-Hong-Ti. Very powerfully stronger. And she ruled her people for 34 solid years. And during her reign, she expanded the whole of Zazzau and made it very powerfully stronger. Oh gosh, today we're talking of Amina of Zazzau. Now you will never finish telling the story of Amina of Zazzau if you don't talk about her sex capades. Sex capades. Now it is alleged by several historians that she slept with at least 20,000 men in her 34 years of being the king. Remember, I said king of Zazzau. 20,000 men, and all of them she slaughtered before the early morning cock crow. Right there. She will pick you up at night. You will satisfy her in the bedroom. Right after that, just before the cock crow, you were slaughtered. She was a very heartless woman who wanted women to rise above all men. She was a warrior who had no mercy for men. Unfortunately, after her death, no other woman was able to rise to that level. Imagine that it was a man who taught her all her skills, yet she used the skills, my brother, my sister, against men who were her enemies. She conquered a big tract of land for the people of Zazzau. And see what happened now. After building all the walls and encouraging agriculture, she also encouraged scholarly behavior. Oh my God. better still, scholarliness. She made sure that people from Zazzau traveled far and near to be able to educate themselves and bring the knowledge back to Zazzau. In the days, everybody wanted to be a native of Zazzau because it was a powerful kingdom that thrived so strongly, and who had a very powerful leader who was a woman. My God have mercy. And everybody was at the beck and call of this great black woman. Now during her reign, she expanded Zazzau so much, and she created trade routes through that northern Africa. Oh, additionally, Amina has been credited with ordering the construction of a distinctive series of ancient Hausa fortifications known as the Walls of Amina, the daughter of Nikatao, and of course, Bakwa Turunku. Amina was able to expand her territory. She brought her people together, expanded it, and was able to fight against any enemy that came. In fact, her territory became so strong. It was long after she died in 1904 that the British were able to gain access into Amina's area and destroyed the walls that she had built. Yes, around the whole of Zazzau, the walls of Amina, technically known in Hausa as Ganuwar Amina. She rose to the throne in 1576, and she ruled for 34 solid years. My brother, my sister, during her reign, she took over Katsina and took over some other states, joined all that to the wonderful Zazzau. She had a little sister who was called Zariya, and she named the whole city after her. Today, when you go to Nigeria, there is a state called Zaria. Now, Zaria is now in the Kaduna State of Nigeria. My brother, my sister, such a powerful queen who made sure that women rose to the top of their game. Somewhere in 1610, Amina was on one of her raids, and she went all the way, conquering all the way to the banks of the river Niger, spreading big and wild. Her name sent chills into the bodies of warriors. Anywhere she went, people were scared. Some people did not want to fight. They just gave up, and she ruled over them, bringing them into the kingdom of Zazzau. Unfortunately, in 1610, while she was out there, out and wide and about and doing her own things, she fell ill. And when she fell ill, she saw sickness as a weakness. She did not want her followers to see her in that weak condition. She decided to hide in a room, trying to cure herself. She was in a certain town known as Atagara. Atagara, A-T-A-G-A-R-A, Atagara. And when she arrived there, she went into a room quietly, treating herself. But at a point, she realized that no, she would not be able to survive it. She told her followers to move on and make sure that the kingdom of Zazzau stood strong and powerful. During her reign, she had no time to even sit in her own palace. She was always riding horses and conquering more lands. She knew no rest. She was always fighting and conquering. For 34 solid years, she never sat in her own palace to eat correct meals and all that. She was always on the move. She died in 1610. And she died in Atagara. Now, some other historians say she died in Zazzau in her own palace at the age of 77. She died without a child. In fact, she died, my brother, my sister, without a child. She had many sex partners, who we cannot call lovers, who she beheaded. Just one day, she never had sex with a man more than once. She never got married. Remember, for her bride price, she wanted 40 female slaves. She wanted 10 male slaves. She wanted 50 bags of white and, in fact, blue cloths, not from just any source, but from Sarkin Kanu, the king of Kanu himself. And at the same time, she wanted some domestic animals, including some wild animals, including the leopard. She made it impossible for any man to have a hand in marriage. Imagine the bride price for knocking alone is a leopard and several other livestock, plus 40 female slaves and 10 male slaves, 50 bags of, in fact, clothing, blue and white. Her favorite colors were blue and white. My brother, my sister, she died in 1610 at the age of 77, and she became one of the most powerful rulers of Zazzau. Today we remember you. Oh, mommy. Mommy, uni yaminko. Mommy, miss uni yaminko. Oh, mommy. Subhanallah. Walhamdulillah. Wala ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Walillahi alhamdu. Wait. 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 Mamutu. Wait. Wait. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, how will the story of Amina of Zazzau impact your own life? Now that you know what to do, be an any ole mini about fe yanzunda kagane mezaka yine ye apa bango bokaya nang fifia yenya no kai na wo bana ehu ebeden misi bana ehu ebe ya bade lele anjima singa be konne lele anjima singa beri. It's been the African history class, and today we have been talking about Queen Amina of Zazzau, the powerful queen who made it impossible for any man to marry her. The powerful queen who had over 20,000 lovers, in fact, sex mates, all beheaded on the first night of having sex with them. The woman who made it impossible for anybody to pay her bride price. Her bride price alone was one leopard captured alive, plus several livestock, including 50 clothing, in fact, from the king of Kanu, Sir King Kanu, blue and white in color, plus 40 female slaves and 10 male slaves. Today we remember you, Mami, and we say, Damn it,